only took us like 30 minutes, and then CAC dropped by like 75% over the next 90 days. Everyone knows Facebook ads are amazing for acquiring new customers, but odds are you are paying way too much to acquire all those new ones. And today I'm going to share my screen to show you step by step something that you didn't even know was possible in a way that'll get you laughing all the way to the bank. All right, let's go. So what we're going to talk about today is using offline conversion events to pass back information to Facebook to let it know that your purchase was actually of a new customer. All right, so we have our screen up. Now, here is what you're going to type into Google. All right? Zapier Facebook Conversion API. Awesome. First thing is, Facebook thing. Second one, Zapier. So we open that up and it's gonna give us basically 4 options. So as you scroll down, it's quite literally the first thing on the list because everybody knows you should be doing it except for all of the people that you're listening to, because let's be fair, a lot of these folks who are teaching how to run Facebook ads don't give a fuck about your bottom line. They don't give a fuck about you. All right, let's get back to it. First link on the page, then new orders as a custom conversion event. Now, that's gonna bring us to the first option and try it. This is what you find when it comes in. We've got an untitled zap, it says new paid order, and you're like, Charlie, this isn't anything new. What are you showing me? Let me get to it. We're gonna go ahead and rename this thing new customer purchase. Fantastic. Now, we're gonna hit this drop down. Instead of new paid order, we're gonna say new customer. Because this means that Shopify defines this person as a net new customer. They're not in our Shopify yet. Okay, then what? So then we're gonna go down to Facebook and it's gonna say, send purchase event. Wonderful, that's not what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna send other event. So we're gonna hit continue. It's got the Facebook conversions, that's my default thing. Then we're gonna have action source, which for us is gonna be website. So action source, website, business account, well, we'll go ahead and type in Disruptor School. Boom. What this is going to do is ultimately give you a custom conversion event passed back to Facebook from Shopify when you have a new customer. Now, for those of you that say, well, I don't have Shopify, I'm on BigCommerce or I'm on WooCommerce or I've got some other thing going on, that's totally fine. Zapier will also integrate with your Klaviyo or anything else that you have for your CRM list, where it basically says, we have a new listing in this CRM database. If we have a new listing, if you really want to get nitty gritty, you can just say new customer gets added to a Google Sheet. If there's a new person on that Google Sheet, send the event to Facebook. It is literally that easy. So what do you think, Barkley? Thumbs up? Yeah? I want to unpack 3 things real quick. First thing that we need to understand here is that you actually don't know what a new customer is worth when it comes to which creative concept. Your website is optimized right now to basically anybody that comes. But if you can understand what concepts actually attract higher quality customers, and then you just focus on those new customers, and when you ultimately are able to make creative decisions around what brings you a higher value initial transaction, everything else downstream gets better. So let's address the other thing that you think you know the answer to, but you have no idea. What is your actual CAC based on your Facebook ads? You might say, well, I've spent $1,000 and I made 50 sales, therefore my CPA is 20, and out of that I got 20 new customers, so my CAC is 50 bucks. Sure. The problem is this: when you divide total ad spend by total customer, you're backing into a number. The reason that number is what it is has nothing to do with your effectiveness of attracting new customers. It has everything to do with how many of your overall transactions are new versus returning. If 90% of your sales are returning customers, your CAC is going to be exponentially higher than if 90% of your sales are new customers versus repeating. But your CPA could be the exact same. Your blended CPA might go up or down, but you don't actually know how much it costs to acquire a new customer. You're just averaging averages to hopefully get to something close to real, but that number is gonna change fundamentally as soon as you actually focus on bringing in more net new customers. Why? Because once you start to bring in a higher volume of net new customer, you know what happens? More people buy from your email. And what's really fun is the third thing. Say you made 200 sales, and that happened to be 100 sales from ad A and 100 sales from ad B. Now, if ad A drove 1 net new customer and ad B drove 99 net new customers, and say the CPA was more or less the same, hey, what if ad A's CPA was actually $2 cheaper? And you're starting to go and be like, you know what, our CPA is like $1 too much. We need to optimize out that more expensive ad. What you're doing is actually optimizing out net new customer acquisition. Now you're going to get a lower attributed CPA, but your blended CPA is gonna go up. Why? Less incremental lift. Remember that basically every customer has an LTV. And if the sale that you drove today is the first transaction in that customer journey, the margin between that sale and their total lifetime value is a lot more than if it's their second. One of these things is a less mature LTV with way more upside and future cash flow. The other one has a slightly better CPA. Let me give you a good rule of thumb. Just like in lead gen, lower quality is cheaper. Repeat buyers, less expensive to acquire than new customers, but it's also way less incremental. And if you have no idea what the difference is between a repeat buyer and a new one, well then you have no idea how to make more money. And I'm gonna break down the 3 fundamentals of your business that's holding you back from monumental growth. The things that make you say, well, I have to be first order profitable. I have to worry about ROAS. I'm focusing on cost caps and contribution margin and ASC to sell everything at the lowest price. The problem is that you're running your business growth like a performance marketer, and we'll extract all of that in a minute. All right, I just want to take one quick moment here and just remind you to go down here and hit like and subscribe, ring the bell, all of that fun stuff. There's the QR code for the Facebook Ads MBA program. What we're talking about today is just scratching the surface of many of the hundreds of things that you'll learn in there. And remember, hundreds of people have gone through it for multiple years. Nobody that's ever completed the program has ever asked for the money back. Why? Because they're successful. That's the single greatest endorsement I could ever give you. So that being said, let's get back to it. Remember we said we had 2 ads where we have 100 purchases on both ads. You're gonna see 100 purchases and 1 new customer versus 100 purchases and 99 new customers. Now what's super fun about that is when you start to do creative testing, you're gonna see what type of things attract the attention of the customers you already have. They're probably the ones with the lower CPA. Those are probably the ads that fatigue and aren't scaling. And why every time you try to improve your performance, things go to absolute shit. And those are the ones that the cost caps love because they're not built to scale a business. We can now say these creative concepts actually attract new customers pretty well. Awesome. If you just start to focus your Facebook advertising on 2 or 3 concepts that are phenomenal at attracting new customers, you know what'll happen? Instead of playing the fun game of chasing all of the ads that die all the time and trying to outpace it by launching more ads and basically making Facebook a ridiculous hot mess of something, you're gonna have more and more customers come into your store that are new, that all look and feel and act the same. You know what happens when that happens? All of your CRO efforts are stickier. Your email flows and your search campaigns and your Amazon, your TikTok and your organic can all leverage that. And what ultimately happens is you go from somebody saying, well, I need to be first order profitable and I can't get people to buy and all of this other stuff, which I hear you if that's you, because people who have no idea what they're doing, and remember, they don't give a about you, are the people that you're listening to. And these are simple things that the high-end marketers are doing on every account. What happens now is instead of chasing the Facebook report, you're actually able to focus on improving the consumer journey with your business. If all of your customers look and feel the same, how much easier do you think it's going to be to test and ultimately improve how many of them buy a second time? If you're really getting good at attracting new customers, how much more revenue do you think your email's gonna take? How much more revenue do you think your CRM marketing will drive? Remember, if more and more people that buy from you are people that haven't bought before, then there's more and more people that haven't actually reached their lifetime value. That's more and more cash flow that you're gonna get on a consistent basis. Your revenue floor is gonna go up. And the fact that people aren't basically making this a standard operating procedure and that you don't see literally anybody else talking about this shocks me and frustrates me, but ultimately, I understand it. There's a reason other people don't talk about this. Well, one, because this isn't anything that they give a damn about, because your bottom line doesn't mean anything to them. The reason I'm talking about this is I'm not a performance marketer who makes a living on my ego and the ability to take credit for other people's success. I don't have an ad agency where I slap cost caps on top of everything, and when I fail, it's your fault. Or when we're successful, I just get to basically attach myself to your rocket ship and take credit for everything and tell the whole world about the wonderful client work I've done. I actually help people grow their businesses. This is something that you should do today. I literally gave you every step of the way. It is just that easy. And what I would love to know is if there are other tools that you're using to do this, because full disclosure, I chose today to show you one of the most difficult ways of doing this. Why? Because I wanted you to know how easy it was. And this is something you can do right now. What's the cost? A couple $dozen a month. What's the upside? Potentially a couple $1 million a year. What would it look like if instead of chasing ads that fatigue all the time, you were chasing customers that bought more often? What would it look like if you knew who high quality customers were versus just any purchase event? What would it look like if you didn't have to worry about third-party attribution software and what attribution model you think makes sense? What if you didn't have to worry about view-through conversions and all of this other nonsense? What if you could just say, this ad brings me more net new customers for this price, this ad doesn't? What if you could have more net new customers in your business and build more kinetic energy for your search and your Amazon and your TikTok, and most importantly, your CRM marketing, your email and your SMS? I've done this for brands for years. One great example of a business that I've done this with just this year, once we installed this towards the end of Q1, we got more net new customers in 1 week than they got in all of January. You know what happened to their email revenue in the following weeks? It went up. They had their email team high-fiving and doing all sorts of stuff, and you know what? They deserve it. Your job as a Facebook marketer is not to take credit for the success of a business. Your job is to amplify the opportunity of all the far more profitable and successful ventures have. And with that being said, this is my place in New York. It's dark because it's dark outside. I don't have all my lights going. There's nothing on the walls because I just moved in. And you'll be seeing a lot more of this place, but I just want you to know this. You can do this. If you were to take a couple of drinks back after lunch and just get this done and go home, you would basically pay for your net salary by the end of the year. There is very few things that you can do in your business that are higher inflection point when it comes to business intelligence and decision making with your growth and acquisition platform than this move right here. You can do this. With that being said, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the internet.